Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. And
How you doing?
complete.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it.
We're such good builders, you and I.
All right, let's build a wheat farm.
Is that what's next? Order of operations.
So it's been like close to 2 weeks since we've gotten on.
Yeah. I've been busy. You've been busy. Things have been busy. So yeah, it's been a little while.
And
there's a bed in here now,
God,
Jeff.
This is the weirdest thing. I don't know where you went, but I'm confused by this door.
Why are you confused? There you go.
Well, thank you, but there you go.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's just for looks, right? Because you got the same thing over here, but you certainly can't go in there over here.
I guess I don't know how this is how we get down. I want to see what he did with my minecart thing that I had made over here. And I extended the whole boat out to do it on this one side, remember?
Yeah.
And so I was curious, what did he do with that? Clearly he... Okay.
Well, so there's that room there, but then he didn't leave the same room down here. I wonder what it looks like outside.
Yeah, that sounds... Yeah, I wonder if he just extended the whole thing, or does
hey.
it look really weird from the outside? Oh, wait. Oh, this is like the normal, like, deep V hole?
Yeah. Though there's not a way out. I thought this would be like how we got out. You cannot get out down here. In fact, I don't see a way out of here, period. You come down here and this is where you starve to death.
Yeah, that's fun.
Mike can get out right over here.
Yeah, you can get back out the way you came in.
So how's housing?
Housing?
I mean, that's what you do now. You're a houser.
Well, so it's interesting because, and it's one of the reasons that for those who do actually watch the Fix It channel, we haven't had a new episode in a while. I'm trying to get one put together because there was some major changes since the last episode, but things have kind of just stopped because we're basically like waiting for permitting and waiting for
last episode of your Fix It stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now they have completely demolished the entire first floor. I actually don't know how to get out of here still from up here. Now that I'm up here, I'm lost. Oh yeah, it was over here. They've demolished the first floor basically. There's no more walls or anything on the first floor anymore. And then everything kind of stopped for the last 2 weeks because they're like waiting for permits and they're waiting for like final decisions on certain things. So it went from like 100 miles an hour to nothing. For a while, so there's like nothing to really report, but the problem is that we're not getting any closer to moving in when there's nothing to report.
There's a pool in the front deck.
What? Hold on, I'm on the outside trying to check out the pimple.
He blended in a way you can't even tell it's there.
He did, but the problem is I need to do the same thing on the back.
Yeah, I feel like you could just run it back.
Yeah, I think it can just run. Honestly, I don't think he touched anything. I'm pretty sure he just like patched up the holes that I had made. Almost kind of like he knew it was going to extend to the back, and then he just extended the white straight back.
Right.
It should be fine when we get to that point. Like, yeah, that should be fine. Though, did we ever decide if you can do it on the other side?
I mean, I'm assuming he could do the same thing he's done there.
Well, I mean, but doesn't it run into the world?
No, I think you can do the same thing over here.
I guess we'll find out. So yeah, while there's a lot of stuff going on at the new house, the worst thing is all the stuff that's happening at the old house. That's just like driving us.
What did you decide to do about the tile?
So tile, as of now, so you probably missed it. They were supposed to come last Monday, not 4 days ago, but we're talking 10 days ago. They were supposed to come and...
I remember that. And you had said you might just tell them not to worry about it and just give us a discount.
We didn't have to tell them. Because on Monday morning, he texted us and said, oh, we're busy this week now with some training, so we will come next week.
Okay, so that was this Monday.
Yes, but the problem is last Monday... We had Julia's parents were house sitting down the street from us, so we had an extra house to go be in during the daytime and have like dinner and stuff because we're going to be out of a kitchen for as many days as it's going to take them to do.
Right.
And so basically we told them like, yeah, sorry, that doesn't work for us. You can't come next Monday. I don't know when you can come again. You're going to have to wait till we move out of this house till you fix this stuff. So now we're kind of buying time until we figure out what to do.
Christ. Are they even going to do it at that point, though?
They are going to do it because we haven't paid them yet. So I'm sure they're going to do it. The bigger problem is, like, we're on the debate of the more and more Julia looks at it, the more and more pissed off she gets. Because there's just spots where the tiles are, like, so crooked. So it's a long tile as opposed to a square tile. You know, it's like, you know, a 16 by 12 as opposed to like a 16 by 16 or a 12 by 12. So there's one side that's longer than the other. And it's like one edge of it is a huge gap compared to the next tile, whereas the other edge of the tile is like squished against the tile next to it. So you might not be able to tell when you're looking at the bigger gap because it's not that much, but when you realize that there's like no gap on the other end of the tile between like the side of that tile and the next one because the tile's that crooked, it becomes very obvious when it's in the middle of the floor. So the more and more that she stares at it, and like especially it's hard because we know it's there, you know, it's one of those things like would we not notice it if we didn't know that it was like that?
You would notice it eventually. Like let's say someone buys your house, right?
The whole square that I showed you, like the square that they cut a square tile in the middle of the floor because they did the pattern wrong.
Yeah.
That, like, is so obvious to us that I think that'd be obvious to fucking everybody, but...
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things that even, you know, when you walk through as a renter, you're not going to see it maybe. You might, you may not. But you will eventually. Eventually, one night, you're going to be standing in the kitchen and you're going to go like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What happened here?
And the one that's in front of the stove that's, like, sunk, that he put the stove back too early before the mortar was dry and it pushed it down.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would be that big of a deal because it's by the stove. I have tripped on it like 3 times while cooking. Like shuffling back and forth to like grab something from the fridge and just kind of sidestepping. I will actually like trip on it and I don't trip and fall on the ground, you know, but like my foot hits it and I'm like, oh shit, I just like tripped on
right.
this thing. So it's to the point right now where the problem is she talks a lot. I don't know what she's actually going to do, but she's basically said she's done. She's going to have somebody actually redo the entire floor now. She's just going to tell them that we're not going to pay for it. It's like, okay, you can say that, but
I don't think that's going to fly.
Well, I think it can fly to an extent. Like we're not going to not pay them anything. You pay them for, you know, the work that they did to remove the old tile and, you know, things like that. But you can't just not pay them for any of the tile placement. You have to work something out with them. I just don't understand, like, the guy... They're still doing other things that were on part of the original contract, like... redoing some of the concrete in the front steps that was coming out. So he's been doing that this week, though that was supposed to be like a couple hour job that has been 3 days now that he's been dealing with out there as well. Like, I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. And Julia's home during the day because she works from home during this whole COVID thing. And I keep telling her, when he's here, you take him inside and you show him the floor and just tell him, look, this is unacceptable and you need to understand that, like, this is representing your company right now, because sometimes it's been the people who work for him, not him, but it's been him that's been at the house this week. Julie's, I think she's too afraid to do it. She talks this big game, but she never wants to actually like take him, like, oh, he was here today, oh, did you bring him aside and show him the tile? Oh, no, I was busy, couldn't, you know. So it's one of those things that who knows what's actually going to happen, and I don't disagree with her sentiment. It's just a matter of somebody's got to be the bad guy here and say, yeah, this needs to get corrected, and if nobody does that, then we just pay them. Is what happens.
So they couldn't come back on this Monday, or well, no, I guess they could come back on this Monday, but you wouldn't allow it. Never mind. They should go back last Monday because of training.
Well, now it's because of the fact of now that Julia's parents aren't watching this other housing at this other house that have free reign for 5 weeks.
Oh, Jesus.
We have one kitchen. We have us, the 2 children and the grandparents here. We can't be out of a kitchen for 2, 3, 4 days, however long it's going to take them to do that.
Yeah.
It's like it just doesn't work.
I thought her parents didn't live there.
They don't. So they're trying to sell their house to move here. So they've been on the house hunt for a very long time as well, and the house hunt's not going too well for them. Like,
why don't they move into your house that you're leaving?
You know, the funny thing is that's come up as a recent possibility. They don't want to live here. They don't want to live in our house. They don't want to live in our neighborhood. They have a specific place they want to be. But as a temporary solution, if they don't have their own place yet, that's not a bad, option that we've now thrown around out there. They put in a handful of offers on houses. I think they thought they'd have something out here by now. It just hasn't quite panned out.
How do they end up house sitting in a city they don't live in? Was it friends of yours?
No. We do crazy. So this one was kind of amazing. There's a lot of people that ask for, people to come house sit or even live in their house for a time frame because they're going to be out of town and want somebody to live there, watch there. It was part of watching the cat was one of the major things, but people like people living in their houses while they're gone to make it lived in. You're not worried about robbery, like this, that, the other. Often they charge you for it as if it's like an Airbnb. And these people, basically, I think they had put out there on, it wasn't Craigslist, but it was some type of listserv out there that Julia saw. These people wanted somebody to watch their house and didn't really have a price on there. And so it was right down the street from us. I'm down the street, like half a mile down the street in a very nice neighborhood. And Julia met up with them and said, "Hey, 5 weeks, okay? My parents are going to be around. They can, they can do this. Like, let's check out the place and see and like discuss." And they were like, "Yeah, we were kind of hoping for $3,000. You guys would pay $3,000 to be able to basically live. It's basically rent, for this place." And she goes, "No. That's way more expensive than we planned on doing." And granted, it was like a 5-bedroom, split apartment house. Like it was a huge place with like 2 apartments and, And Julia was like, "No, that's not. We're not interested in that."
For only 5 weeks, that is pretty high, right?
For $3,000. Yes. For a short-term rental that they want you to do. If I was looking for a short-term rental, $3,000 would be pretty. That would easily be $3,000 for a house that big. Them looking for somebody to rent their place for them, it's a little bit different. It turns into the demand.
Yeah, we're helping you.
Thing,
you're helping us. Right.
So she said, "Oh no, that's not going to work." And then they turned around and were like, "Actually, we're not even actually concerned about getting paid. We just want somebody to be here and watch the cat and things like that." And so it turned out to be free.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Well, pretty good. But the whole weird thing is, like, why would you say $3,000 and then instantly be like, free?
I mean, I guess it's like one of those things where like you ask more than you actually want, and then you negotiate. They over countered, obviously.
Right. So that's what it is. Like, how much? $3,000. Too much. Okay, how about $1,500?
Yeah, exactly.
They
could have got something out of you guys.
Well,
even
they
went down to
ended
500.
Ended up still paying them some money for it just because they felt that her parents, Julie's parents, felt bad that it was like this. Free rental, and we stayed there. Granted, it kind of sucked because their vacation in North Carolina was in the middle of that, and I had to go watch the cat because I was still here. So twice a day, I had to go over to this house just to feed this cat. So it was just annoying for me, but that wasn't a big deal or anything like that. It's right down the street. But when they were here, and because our kitchen was torn up for so long, it worked out very well because the kitchen was torn up the whole time they were in North Carolina for me. I can deal with that as a single person, like no big deal. Once the kids came back, we basically, when we got home from work, we went over to the house. Julie actually worked from there and the kids were there. I went over to that house after work and we had dinner and stuff over there. We only came here to sleep.
Oh, wow.
And then we did that for 2 weeks until they didn't have the house anymore. Well, 2 weeks, and then we had our kitchen back with a really shitty tile job, and then they wanted it to be like,
yeah,
not done again. So yeah, that's the housing situation.
Kind of a mess. So what are they doing now that they've lost their house?
They're staying here with us, which is difficult because our house is not that big.
Yeah, a tiny place for that many people.
Grammy sleeps with Jack in his bed, and Papap sleeps in the room that I'm currently recording in. He pulls out the futon.
That sounds like some kind of medical device.
They're Grammy and Papap is who they are to the kids.
Uh-huh. Okay. Where did you? Sorry, I was so stuck on his name. I didn't hear where you said he slept.
In the futon next to where I'm recording right now.
Oh, what's he doing right now?
He's watching me. I'm just kidding. He's not watching me.
Oh, I completely believed every word of it.
He does. Laying there. That is what he's doing, though. He's sleeping on the futon in this room. But it's they stay up until 11:30 midnight, whatever. So
gotcha.
But they don't really have their own privacy because they're currently trying to sell their house, and they actually thought they would sell their house in Ohio by now. They've had like 30 some odd showings of their house, and they have not had an offer yet. It's funny. It's just weird. Yeah, it's priced in a way it's getting interest, but people are seeing it, and there's something that they don't like about it, and we don't know. Their house is really nice, and it's in a really nice area in Columbus, Ohio that has
no offers after 30 showings. Is pretty fucking wild, right?
Yeah. That's kind of what's going on. Part of it is we don't think that their realtor kind of dicked them over at the beginning of it. It went on the market like 3 weeks later than it was supposed to because the realtor literally at the last minute would be like, "Oh yeah, I was supposed to come over today and get the final paperwork with you, but I'm a little busy, so I'm gonna come over tomorrow." And he delayed it by weeks doing that, which is the realtor doing that. It seems a little fucked up.
Yeah, it does. You would think. I mean. I guess he had better deals, right? He had better houses to sell.
Yeah, maybe. So we don't know if it's the realtor's not really getting it pushed out there, or if something's really just not meshing as well as it should. And I don't know the market at all out there to know. I mean, I've stayed at the house numerous times when we went out to visit the family and stuff. It's a very nice house in a very nice neighborhood. So I couldn't tell you if there's something I just don't know
everything that I've been understanding from everyone, because everyone I fucking know seems like they're trying to buy a house right now. But everyone is just it's crazy, no matter what state they're trying to move into, right? So I would assume that Ohio is no different.
Yeah, they haven't gotten a single offer on it.
Yeah, I feel like there's something going on there. They need to get a new realtor or something at this point. After 30 showings, that's just absurd.
Yeah, out here in this area, I mean, we know because we bought the house and they put in multiple offers on different houses. They're putting in offers for 30% over list price and still getting beat out with it when houses are up on the market for 48 hours.
That's just fucking wow.
Yeah, this place is crazy.
Still. What are you doing?
I'm watching the iron farm because not that we need iron right now, but
we do. I need a lot more hoppers. Are we out of hopper? I mean, out of iron completely in the iron farm?
I have in the iron farm we are. Yeah, I have 25 blocks of iron on me.
Oh, that's a lot.
So yeah, you can do some stuff with that. It's just that the iron farm seems to be working extremely slow. And I'm not sure if that's. It seems like I don't feel like there's that many villagers in here, but there really is quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't think any have died or anything like that. And I mean, with my testing, we learned that we're beyond where it matters anyway.
Right. I mean, I'm watching them spawn, but they're not spawning as quickly as I recall them spawning before.
There have been some Minecraft updates. Perhaps something changed.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, if we just AFK'd in this area for, overnight, one night, it would be filled up again, I'm sure. But
right. Someone at the Patron Zone built one that's got 60 platforms with
60 of what we made.
Yeah. It does 140 stacks in an hour or something like that.
Jesus Christ. So we can always just go take from the patrons. Oh, I guess we can't really take from there though, can we?
No, it's a public farm. So
okay.
Honestly, the whole place has turned into remember CHAZ in Seattle, where everything was free and people were just living, just bringing their produce or whatever and just trading, and it was just this open, loving society. You remember that, right?
No.
So
was I part of this?
No, you weren't. I don't think you were. CHAZ,
CHAZ, the guy from Wedding Crashers who crashes funerals.
There's a person named CHAZ. Not Chad. CHAZ.
In Wedding Crashers, yeah.
Okay, I've never seen Wedding Crashers. I
Oh,
don't remember what CHAZ
boo.
stood for. It was something
Boo.
the autonomous zone. What was it called? Hold on. Go CHAZ.
I'm pretty sure CHAZ is the guy from Wedding Crashers who crashes funerals.
It's the
Played by Will Ferrell. Come on.
Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone.
So right by where I live? Oops.
God damn it. It was in Seattle. It was right after the start of the Black Lives Matter protests.
I've not
They
heard of this at all.
we talked about this, Jeff. in an
No,
episode.
we did not
We
talk
did.
about CHAZ.
We absolutely
There's no way
did.
you would mention the word CHAZ and immediately I didn't say something about wedding crashers and crashing funerals because that's the first thing that comes to mind when I hear CHAZ.
I don't know for sure. Someone can tell us. I can't believe you did not know about the autonomous zone, though.
No,
Like they basically set up a no cops allowed section of the city, blocked it off, like cops could not enter.
Okay.
It was completely just a huge neighborhood in Seattle. It covered 6 blocks and a park, and it lasted from June 8th until July 1st.
Okay, I do know what you're referring to now. I'd never heard it called the autonomous zone, so maybe I just didn't hear the terminology.
I mean, it was mostly known as
a
CHAZ.
city of CHAZ?
Huh?
Is that the Capitol Hill area, something or other? Like
Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, aka CHAZ, CHAZ.
I've never heard the term CHAZ.
I don't understand, but okay. I don't know why. I don't know how this missed you, because this was such a big deal during that time. And like Trump kept wanting to like just bring in like the military and like take it back and all that. In Seattle. Not in Oregon, in Washington.
Because Portland was what was making the big news about all the they took over the police precincts or whatever.
Yeah. That was very short-lived though.
Okay, I think it might have been short-lived in some of the media.
I mean, well, just the amount of time they were there. They did not create a standalone city for a month like CHAZ was. Like CHAZ had basically a list of demands. Like they wanted the police budget cut by 50% or $400 million. They wanted to shift the funding from that. They want to basically redistribute that funding to community programs. And they also wanted to ensure that all the protesters that had been arrested to not be charged. But another thing they did basically, like we know, like Dark Osto's girlfriend, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she set up a booth there to teach people how to vote, for example. Like, so she had her own little booth there in CHAZ, and she would go down there every day, and like she would give people voter registration forms, and they can give them back to her, and she'd drop them off for them and stuff like that. But there was tons of like little shops set up where people would bring in tons of produce, and it was just everything was free. No one was charging anyone for anything. There was restaurants set up. It was just like this open society. And maybe the restaurants were charging food. I don't know.
I was gonna say, why did it shut down? This is a self-sustaining.
So the police ended up raiding it eventually. It took a month, but the police came in with pepper spray and they cleared it out.
I voted today, by the way.
Yeah, I can't vote yet. I got 7 more days before I can vote.
Yeah, we got our ballots. Like
I'm sure the debate last night influenced that, and you switched over to vote for the Pence ticket.
Oh, absolutely. I will admit that last night's debate was, which would be for those watching in the future, was the vice presidential debate, the very first vice presidential debate of the 2020 season. Pence did much better than Trump had done in the presidential.
Well, I mean, yeah. No, Trump and Pence are the same fucking person, like in terms of ideology and their message.
Yeah,
the difference is one of them says it in a way that you can fucking understand, and honestly spins it in a way that
that makes you
palatable.
think. Yeah, that makes you think like, oh, that's a good point. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
But then you just have Trump, that's just a goddamn nightmare when it comes to public speaking.
Yes.
So Yeah, there's a little bit
I
of both.
I will say though, and I'm sure there's always people who are going to be mad, about whatever we say. Kamala Harris was amazing at that debate.
Oh yeah, I think she
and,
did a fantastic job.
and I don't ever walk away from a debate. She made me like feel women's rights and women's power as a man. I was just like, damn, this chick is like fucking awesome.
I do hope they win. It's one of those things where if we could go based on polls and just the voting, I think there'd be no chance that Donald Trump could win. But the number of steps that are being taken across the board to try to suppress the vote, deny the vote, change the vote, it's just a nightmare. What's going on?
Did you see? Because I want to know how much truth there is to this. Because I only saw a Reddit post about it, and I couldn't actually find a good article on it, like in my news feed, without going out and specifically searching. Like it wasn't in the normal news feed, so I'm wondering if this was just some misconstrued craziness. That I heard that Trump today is trying to convince Barr to indict Biden.
Yeah, not just Biden, Hillary and Obama as well. He wants indictments immediately. Almost like he said, I'm going to do my best to give an exact quote, but it's not. This is going to be a paraphrase quote. He said that it's going to be a sad day for Barr if he doesn't act soon on indicting those three.
I think the medication's getting to the man.
He said it on a interview with Fox and Friends this morning.
Oh, is that what it was? It was from that interview? Oh, there's so many even Republicans that are upset with him about that interview because apparently in that same interview he called like Kamala Harris like a witch and a monster. And everybody's like...
Called her a monster and a communist.
Yeah, and
I don't think he used the word witch.
Oh, is that what it was? Monster and communist? And everybody's like, you just had your vice president stand up for himself in a debate, which Pence did okay in the debate, like for his base. Like, I'm not saying I agree with them, but I'm saying the debate was like he did what he needed to do to like appease his people. There's no question about that. I don't think he did as well as Harris, but he did fine.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, everybody's like, Trump, you just had your vice president do well in a debate. Bask in that for a minute. Why are you trying to go out there and steal the spotlight by being like such an asshole?
It's all he knows how to do. He doesn't know. Everything has to be about him. If it's not about him, I mean, you've seen what has happened because of his fucking coronavirus illness. Like,
dude,
it's just
he
the whole
doesn't
thing is
want
a
to have
nightmare.
the virtual debate. One of the reasons, because he doesn't think he's contagious.
He doesn't feel contagious. He hasn't been tested, so he doesn't even know if he's still testing positive because he hasn't been tested. But he doesn't feel positive.
That's his science.
Yes.
Like that right there should be enough for his people to be like, wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
this man who now has proven that COVID exists, it's not just a hoax.
Well, see, he's still referring to the extremeness of the virus as a hoax. He's still calling it a form of a hoax. His new fucking way to address this is that yes, the virus is real, but it's not anywhere near as bad as you've been told. Like, look at him, like he did.
Look
he
at
did
me,
great.
I just got a shit ton of experimental medications that I should not have access to. I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean, he's made that. You saw the video he made for the seniors, telling them that they're all going to get the same medicine for free. And he said it in a way like they don't even fucking need it. They're just going to get it. Like, everyone needs to get a bottle of it.
Shove it down your throat, God damn
Yeah,
it.
you better fucking enjoy it.
This is
You're
bleach in a pill. Take it, God damn it.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. Everything he's ever done has been insane. But everything he's done since leaving the hospital is just another he keeps
Horseman of the Apocalypse.
I wonder what I heard. But yeah, he keeps upping the ante on how fucking crazy he can be, basically. So yeah, I just need this election to be over. I need him to lose because, like, and I know it's not about me. We all need this, but like for me, I'm going like insane. I need to I can't step away from the politics, but I need to. So I just need this election to get the fuck over with.
The biggest concern that I have is just it's the election is so close and the turnover is so close for the inauguration that I mean it's kind of flown time because of COVID till where we're at sitting right now, like less than a month away to the election till we know for certain. my body is not like ready for a change from the perspective of I just don't feel like things could change right now, and therefore I'm so worried that my body's just telling me like buckle down because this is lasting. Like it's one of those premonition things. It's just like they're like don't get excited because nothing's changing.
Yeah, I hope your body's way wrong in
God,
that
so do
regard.
I. God, so do I. But I mean, it's like 20 some odd days away, like from when we'll know if it's that. Like, how insane is that?
Well, I don't think we're gonna know on the election night.
Yeah, we're not
I
gonna
think
know it. We're not gonna probably know until sometime after January, and like,
I don't think that's going to be the case, though. That's what Trump keeps liking to say. He keeps saying, whenever
well,
someone says it'll take a few nights, he's like, oh, no, it'll take a few months.
we might we're gonna have to bleed this over to the next episode because I heard some crazy things about the state of the House and how it can lead to, in its current state, a Trump win, even though the House is Democratic.
I'll have to hear what you have to say about that in the next episode. Well, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you there.
See ya.